What's up, guys? Welcome back to the infamous project update on the 1992 yellow DECH, and just really lots of minor details, plugging away at the nitty-gritty and just trying to make things better. It's a beautiful car to start out with, otherwise, well, I wouldn't have bought it and paid what I did for it, but it's all about putting my personal touches on it and doing those little things, those little upgrades. Some of the hardware was old, some of the things were an older style. There's new parts and options available these days. So it's just kind of finding that perfect balance. And as I'm still waiting for my yellow DECH conies to arrive, I've just been immersing myself with everything else, trying to get all of the little details done, which is probably better, right? To do all that nitty-gritty, tedious stuff at the beginning versus trying to do it all towards the end, as I am trying to get this car ready for PITS 2025. So let's go over a few things that I've done since the last video. That way you guys will get a good idea of what's going on and what I'm trying to achieve, and we'll go from there. So hang around. So first things first, I actually took off the chrome or stainless radiator support cover / bracket that holds the radiator back. I'm kind of digging, seeing more yellow here. All the factory stickers are there. So I was thinking of either I've got a black one that I could put on here, or maybe going with the fiddle fart brackets and just kind of going the rest of the way with some of his hardware, as we've already installed in some key locations. And I am going to go with his hood hinges, and then that will help me fix problems like some flaking paint and whatnot that we have there. So one other thing that I wanted to share with you guys was, I know I had mentioned that I had gone Amazon shopping trying to find hardware and other types of fasteners that complement the fiddle fart or Cerbinator hardware. And here's a few of the kits that I've been using, which, excuse the mess, because this is how this hardware comes in all these little baggies of everything. So these were the last ones being used. That's why they're all over the place here. And these are metric hex heads, right? And they're your traditional style top, right? They're not flat or anything like that. They're kind of rounded. I have a similar kit in black, but this kit is a little bit bigger in size. This we're going like M6 up through M8. These guys are small. We're doing M2 through M5, right? So kind of depending on what you're needing. And again, traditional style tops, just with your hex or your Allen style. Okay, and then I got this kit, which this kit's actually been pretty good. Again, it's a metric kit, and this one mimics a lot of your factory hardware underneath the hood. So this guy, for instance, right, I used for the airbag sensors. A real nice replacement for that. You can see I used one of those hex heads here, and then here's one of the smaller washers that I found. So here is one kit that I got. This is specific for M8s, and this kind of works good for a lot of hardware underneath the hood. And again, you got to be mindful of the type of hardware or fastener that you get that's going to fit into this more of a cup style, right? And then you have ones like this, right, that come in this package. And look at this, you get a shit ton of those, and these ones are very similar to what the fiddle fart kit would come for your fenders and whatnot. The thing is, they're not as wide in diameter as I would like. That's why I was happy the Cerbinator found these extra wide ones so that it can cover any, right, breakage of the paint or whatever else that I was talking about earlier. And then here's a kit of the small or smaller right? Washers here, which again, you can use these in conjunction, right, with some of this hardware here, right? So if you want to keep everything black, you can do that. Or if you want to mix up black, you know, with stainless, then you can do that, right? So you can mix and match and kind of do whatever you want. And then, actually, I think this is the Cerbinator ones. Or this is similar to the Cerbinator one. So here's a bigger one, bigger style. These would have been a great option other than the ones that Matthew sent me. So these are just a little bit smaller in diameter, and of course it'd take a larger size piece of hardware. All right, so something like this. And you can see it's a flat top and it's tapered and fit through there. And that's actually a really nice looking piece, right? And then here is the one. So this is typical hardware for your fenders. So you could do skinny guy like this, or something like what Matthew, the Cerbinator, got me. You could do something like that. That's bigger, and you can see that's not the right type of hardware in there. You would want something that's kind of possibly more flat. So you can see here, guys, there is so many different options and concoctions that you can come up with in terms of the types of hardware that you use, right? And it can make all the difference. Like I said here, you can do all blacked out. That's actually a pretty good look right there. So hopefully I'll put links down in the description for you guys, and you guys can go shopping and you can figure out all this stuff and what maybe you would like to use. Again, with all the metric hardware here, you're going to be in pretty good shape for a lot of the things that are underneath the hood. Everything from your hood latch assembly, these guys here, even if you're not using the fiddle fart L brackets, right, you'd have the hardware that you can use to use the factory style ones, airbags, even, right, the ground straps, stuff up here, all of this stuff. It'll work for your hood hinge area. And like I said, I'm going to be using some of that hardware for the strut tower brace and some of these larger bits that need to be swapped over once I get the car up in the air and get some room up from underneath the car. So we got the Optima battery in, the shade of yellow is off, but I want a deep cycle for the stereo system that's in the car, and the yellow looks better than the red. Got all of the accessories on the 3G. Obviously, we finished that up in the last episode, but I do have the proper length belt on now and things cleaned up and ready to go. Actually, looks like, oh, I have to, something here. Where is it? It's hiding here somewhere. There it is. So, that's when we're not prepared for the video. So I got to finish some of the wrapping. You can see I've actually gone ahead and put a bunch of the Alex Tech split wire loom covering on a lot of the wires that are exposed to clean things up, and got the X-Fasten tape here. I'll put the links in the description for this stuff so you guys can find it and use it yourself. I also like to use it on that main AC line that always looks like crap, and there's a few little minor details I need to do there, and I'm waiting on my yellow live wires to show up, which I think are going to look great there. And I think, you know, I know it's controversial, but I like to run the killer glass pipe, and I got an idea to make things just a little extra cool in the engine bay there. So it'll kind of clean up this old piping there. And once I get the car up in the air for the conies, I'm going to be swapping out all of this major hardware so that it looks like this. Much nicer, much cleaner, and that will take care of a lot of that stuff. So that's under the hood. Now, what I'm really excited about, no more wires underneath the dash. This has to be one of my favorite things at the moment. Now, the only thing that I haven't done, and I really wanted to, but I didn't do it yet, is I actually wanted to hook up courtesy lights in here and get some ambient yellow LEDs on the floorboards. Not to say it's not really rocket science in terms of being able to get it done, but that is one last thing that if I have enough time and I find what I need to get it done, I am going to do that. But I actually, and I got a little bit of footage of me installing these aluminum race pedals, which I got off of eBay. And funny enough, the seller reached out to me and was like, "Are you the Infamous Project?" And I was like, "Yeah." So that was kind of cool. Small world. So drilled out the pedals and tapped them, got some hardware on there, and I think those look great. There were some diamond plate custom pedals done before. These didn't look too bad, but there wasn't one on the throttle pedal. That was on the dead pedal. I took the dead pedal one off. And of course, you know, just focus on clutch, brake, and throttle. So that's all taken care of and done. Back to the interior here. Took a lot of time and effort. I did learn something the hard way on the gauges, guys. The gauges were working until I turned the lights on, and then the needles would peg. And it was because I was sharing the ground for the illumination and for the ground that's used for the gauges itself. You wouldn't think that it would make a difference because a ground is a ground. Well, it does make a difference, but everything is working as it should. Everything looks great. So I'm really happy with the way that everything turned out in here. You can see, even got the door sill plate on, kick panel. Close up of the pedals so you guys can see them. I think they turned out great. And also got the screws in, holding the U bracket on the bottom of the center console there. And you can see hiding here is my Viper signal alarm module thingamadoo. So I've actually got a set of covers dropped off at an upholstery shop literally 5 minutes down the road from my house. I've seen his work before, as I've actually recommended him to other people without ever using him myself, and saw the quality of work, and it was pretty nice. So he is stitching me up covers for the rear that will have some yellow stitching and have the same solid leather with perforated centers. So the rear seat will look nice and match. I'm not doing Recaro embroidery or anything like that because, well, it's not a Recaro rear seat. So that is going to finish off the inside of the car. So super stoked about that. And in the back here, you can see I've got the Tip TLS5 spoiler now taped on. And I think I'm going to go with this one. I keep going back and forth. I think this one here is the answer. So waiting for Red Dog to come and pick this up. And this is going to be the lip spoiler that I'm going to go with. So we'll get the right shade of yellow on here, get the lip spoiler painted to match, and then I am going to make the final call on what I'm doing with the taillights. But that is pretty much it for the update on the yellow DECH notch here. And it's looking good. We just need to get those conies in so we can finally get this car on the lift. We'll finally be able to adjust the ride height and get the car sitting down a little bit more. So we get the calipers done in yellow because the red just kind of clashes a little bit. I know the previous owner mentioned that he wanted to do yellow at one point. This car was Wild Strawberry originally, in case you guys forgot. So even when it was Wild Strawberry, it did have a DECH kit on it. And I believe the calipers were probably red then, and it was one of those things that just kind of carried over. And realistically, you know, brakes usually are red, you know, dependent or independent of the color of the car at the end of the day anyways. So that's the quick little update on the yellow DECH notch here. I'm really happy with the progress, and guys, finally to get all that wiring that was underneath the dash tucked away and done, because, you know, there was a lot of stuff there and a lot of guys, like I even did, I'll show you here so you guys can see for yourselves. So in case you didn't see the previous videos, the car had an old Viper alarm and I wanted to bring it into the new age. But of course, you know, we got all the keyless entry working, so locking and unlocking with the key. And then you can also see we got little courtesy things like the dome light stays on once you unlock it for 20 seconds. So Neat little features like that, which require relays. And of course, I got the auxiliary hooked up so we can pop the trunk lid with the comfort of the remote. So everything is good to go here. I can get rid of this random piece of tape on my keychain. Don't know why that's on there. There we go. So we are good. So other than the rear seat and doing the suspension and the conies, once that is done, then the car is actually going to go see Keith over at K-Design up in Waco, and he is going to knock out the final bits of the stereo to make all of the panels, rejig the panels, do the amp rack, and everything that's required to, well, make the trunk look super cool and stick out from the rest. So there you have it, guys. There's the update. Didn't want to leave you guys hanging thinking that there's nothing happening. I know that there hasn't been too much to report, but like I said, I'll share the links to some of the hardware that I've used. And until next time, we'll see you back here on the Infamous Project.